Okay, we got one more art project for you. Again, we're going to use some recycled materials because everybody's got some. You're going to need one of these, which is just an old tray from either meat or produce. I've seen all sorts of stuff, peppers, mushrooms, meat. I just threw mine into the dishwasher after I used it and ran a cycle just so I know it's clean. Right? You can do that too. You're going to need that. I'm using a ballpoint pen so it shows up when I write on it, hopefully. Yeah, you can kind of see the designs that are coming up when I print on it. And other than that, some scissors are handy. Okay, so I got paper too. We'll get to that in a minute. So paper or felt pens helps out later, but we got to make a stamp out of this. Okay, so the first step is making a stamp. The second step is printing. So that's adding colors in different colored paper and using the stamp. So the thing to keep in mind is it's always a good idea to take your time with making a stamp. Be really focused on that because once you make it, then you can get lots of prints after. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do mine. I'm going to just cut mine out right now and make sort of a squarish shape of foam. It doesn't have to be big. You can do lots of little ones. Think about all the stamps you've seen in your life, like the ink stamps. They're all different sizes. Let's see here. That guy. Let's get a sticker on the back. That was easy. Put that there for later. Okay. I'm gonna pull this sticker off the back. Piece of foam. Doesn't have to be perfect. A little square, rectangle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my ballpoint pen to print a design on it. And by printing on it, I'm causing the foam to collapse and be forced down. So then when I add my dye or maybe my paint or my ink after, part of this foam is not going to be quite as high as the surrounding area. And because of that, it won't be able to push its ink or its color onto the paper. Okay, so I'm going to do a really simple design. You can get as intricate as you want. Sometimes if you get too intricate, you lose your design. But I mean, if you got a couple trays like this, you could make a whole ton of different stamps and then end up with a few that are really good. So I'm going to make a design that's really simple. Let's go for a star shape. Okay. So I'm pushing in with my, how about I let you see a little bit better here. Can you see that? Yeah. All right. So I'm pushing in with my pen, star shape, 5 arms on my star. Oh, I'm going to rotate that. Let's see here. So I'm pushing pretty deep. I'm probably going halfway through the depth of the styrofoam. And I'm careful not to touch anything else around. That will make my actual stamp look pretty cool if I do that. Now this is extra length here. I'm going to cut that off so that I end up with sort of a square shape that's going to surround my star. And you can always clean up the edges of your stamp after. But anyway, that's it. I just made a stamp that's in the shape of a star. If I hold it really close, you can see how some of the sides are pressed down. Okay, now we'll go to the stamping stage, right? So sometimes the styrofoam doesn't want to allow water-based inks to stick to it. They're all kind of different. Sharpies work well. The only thing you got to do is you got to color quite quickly with your Sharpie over the shape you just created so that it kind of stays wet, and then push it down. Oh, I just smudged it. Ah! Ta-da! Just created a star shape. The great thing about stamping is you can often get a second stamp out of an inking. So put it down, rub it with the back of your hand, well, not the back. See that part right there? Yeah, that padded part on your thumb, that's a good spot. Oh, and I can hardly see. I got just a touch of another stamp. So that ink was drying up fast. So that's one way. Now, another way we can do is I've got a little bit of acrylic paint. Maybe you've got your watercolor paint set at home. Maybe you've got some other paints available. Maybe you've done something like this before and you've got inks. That would be awesome. I'm just going to put a little dab on here. I didn't even bring a brush along. I'm actually going to just use, pardon me, another piece of foam. I'm just going to smear it across my stamp so that I kind of cover almost all the edges. Okay. Oh, pardon me. Now, if I had a paintbrush, it probably would help a little bit, but let's give it a try. What do you think it'll look like? I don't want to slide it, right? That's going to wreck my stamp. Here's the other thing I can do. I thought my first one is probably better. What if I lay it on top and press it the opposite way? See, I've got my stamp underneath the corner here. Ooh, I think I got something cool. You kind of never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get a stamp that turns out great. Oh, cool. All right. So there's my printing. We call my print. There's my stamp. We went like that. That's one simple way, and you can get more complex. Play around with different inks, different paints, different colors of paper, matching with different colors of inks. I just use white paper. That's simple. Let's do something, one more step, more complicated. Put that away. What if, I got my sheet again here, I'm actually going to create a shape. And maybe you've seen some of these around lately. Let's see if I can draw it from upside down. Okay, it's going to go like that. Uh-oh. A heart. Okay, so what you can do, instead of using your pen to create an impression in the ink, in the styrofoam, which works, the other way is to actually just create a big block of styrofoam. Coat the entire thing in an ink or a paint or a felt, and then use that block just to stamp. Okay, so now what I need to do is cut out my heart. How about I'll cut this out, I'll get back to you, and then we'll try to do a stamp with this on some colored paper. Okay, hang on, give me just a minute. Okay, there we go. I cut out my shape. I got my little heart. Now I'm going to just add some ink, and I want to lay it right down onto the paper to make a print. So it's a whole block of a shape, not just individual writing. I'm going to grab my acrylic paint. That seemed to work pretty good last time. Come on. Come on. Oh, paintbrush would be handy, but I'm just going to use a piece of my styrofoam. Some on my fingers almost. You can make a handle for it. That'd be a good idea. Kind of blotchy. That'll give a cool effect, I'm sure. You can try it like over and over. Lots of prints, lots of different colors. Hey, I made a little card. Let's stamp on here. Here we go. Center it. Ooh, that blue and the orange, I think are going to look good together. So just gently tapping around the top of my block. Okay, let me get my hands clean, no paint. Oh, I got paint, but anyway, I want to keep that card looking nice. Here we go. Yeah! Hey, we did it. So 1, 2, there we go, the block, the card. I could give it to somebody and it looks like a sideways heart. Uh-oh. Maybe I should have thought, I don't know, if I do it like this, an upside down heart, that's kind of confusing. Anyway, the print looked okay. The thought was there, right? You could also use these instead of just a card, is to put on a string, and different colors and different color inks and or paints and paper laid on a string. They call them bantings, and they look really nice. You've maybe seen them on boats or at fairs. Sometimes they're triangular, but by putting that stamp, you just add, it just looks a bit cooler. So that's it. We did stamping by making an impression, stamping by making a block, using ink, using felts, white paper, color paper. Give it a try. Take some pictures, send it to your teacher. Make some mistakes, because you will. But there you go. Have a good day. Good luck.